And what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and this is today's Bitcoin analysis video. I have Sean with me today. Sean, say hi.
Good morning, guys, Krisha. What a freaking day. I'm pumped. I have my Long Island iced tea with me over here. You guys heard that right. Not just any ordinary iced tea, a Long Island extra strong iced tea. Let's go ahead and get this video started, Krisha. Oh man, I am so pumped. It's been a very long time since I've been this pumped. Wow.
And there are so many reasons, right, to be like super excited. Yes, there's a lot going on in terms of the landscape of just, the markets right now. I mean, just look at what's happening in the world. But Sean, just to kind of get you in the loop, I have a screenshot on that I've brought up, which is the Elon Musk tweet that came in not too long ago, like a couple of hours ago.
Ooh,
and
yes.
Now this has brought about a lot of attention right now to Bitcoin, and just as soon as we actually saw this tweet, and as soon as it actually went viral, right? Everyone started retweeting it. Everyone started taking these screenshots, posting it on various social media handles. We saw Bitcoin actually make its move.
Yep. Oh
right.
man, that tweet, Kisha, there's a backstory to that tweet too, as to why I'm this excited. But yeah, I'll let you go ahead. Go on.
So no, like when I first saw this, as soon as I saw it, I actually went and I took a screenshot and I posted it on the Mango Grove, and I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is the moment that everyone has been waiting for. This is the endorsement that everyone was waiting for. And as soon as he updated his status to just Bitcoin, #Bitcoin, okay, the next tweet that came in, his last tweet, is, in retrospect, it was inevitable.
Oh man, that made me just lose my mind. Okay, I gotta tell you guys the story. So last night I called up my brother, all right, and I told, okay, so my brother has been waiting to get into Bitcoin for a while. Around 40,000, he was wondering, Sean, should I just buy in right now? And I told him to listen. I don't want to give you any buy or sell signals kind of thing. But what I'll tell you is that now is not the time that I would be buying. Okay, I would not buy here. I'd either buy about 50,000, as ridiculous as that sounds, or I'd wait just a little bit more. But I'm not going to tell you when it's the time. Okay, you got to make that decision on your own, because my brother has experience with financial markets too. He's sitting all the way in New Zealand. Oh, by the way, to all you guys watching from New Zealand, big shout out to you. My brother has nothing but nice things to say about all of you. Apparently, you guys are really laid back, nice folks. So big shout out to all you Kiwis watching the Mango Grove from back in New Zealand. But yeah, going back to the conversation. I had no intention of telling him when to buy. He was going to make his own decision. But last night, I called him up and said, this is it. This is the time, all right? Because everything was adding up. You were seeing the big signs, especially with what was going on with the stock market, with Robinhood, with GameStop, with freaking, you had massive big influencers coming in and saying things like, buy with everything you can afford to lose, vote with your money. That was essentially the message that was being sent out. And that, guys, that, ladies and gentlemen, is essentially the Bitcoin narrative, right? Don't protest with violence, protest with you opting out of the system. And with what was going on with the financial institutions, with all of the freaking manipulation, the blatant manipulation, this was inevitable. And that's exactly what I said to my brother. I'm like, it's inevitable at this point that the attention will flow on over to Bitcoin. Now is the time to be getting a position in, no matter what the price is. This is exactly what I said to him. Anywhere between 35,000 to 25,000 is going to be a value buy with what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Right. So even if it drops down further, don't care about it. Don't care about it, because right now what you're seeing is a pivotal point in history, and all of this will be remembered. All right. And I went to sleep with that conversation. We had a 1 hour long conversation. It was really exciting, really pumpy, and pumpy in terms of our adrenaline, because we're both like really competitive people. And when we saw this, so the first thing Krisha told me about was this #Bitcoin update. And I was like, holy shit, right? We were talking about it in the Grove. And then it was this tweet he sent out. In retrospect, it was inevitable. And those words were perfect, right? Because this last night, I told my brother, it's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. And bam, we have it. Let's go.
And now this is it. Now I feel like, and right now I feel like this may just very well be the tipping point. So, but now, Sean, I actually want to pan on over to the chart. Okay, because yesterday, there was something that there was a conversation actually that was taking place in the Mango C chat. Now, you particularly were warning people of altcoins, not to get too overexposed to altcoins, or rather, this is not the time to get too excited about altcoins, and to be prudent. Now, what really sort of tipped you off on that?
Well, there were a couple of things on the charts that made me really, it's always the charts, right, Krisha? It's always the charts that make me go like, wait, hold up a second. As tempting as some of these coins are, even to me, right, I'm going to be pulling back. I'm going to be taking profits on some of them, and I'm not going to be adding any more positions, at least till the month closes. Those were my exact words to multiple people who even PM'd me, right? Those of you who have PM'd me, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I said, I'm not going to be doing anything until the month closes now when it comes to altcoins. And the big sign for me, Krisha, was that Bitcoin was in a downtrend, and if the bears had to make their move to push the price down, there was no better time than when we got that daily close. Krisha, if I'm looking at my daily chart right now, all right, look at that horizontal at around exactly 30,750-ish. All right.
Okay.
We got that daily close candle underneath there. It was time for the bears to be using that momentum to push the price down to make a lower low underneath 28,629 at the very least, especially after we got that wick rejection at 35,000.
Yes.
So at 35,000, okay, that wick rejection on the daily, it was an ugly candle that now becomes our pivot point. Okay, the bears have that to work with. That is a lower high on the freaking daily time frame. Daily downtrend needs to continue, especially after you got a daily candle close underneath 30,000.
Yeah.
All they needed to do was push the price down at least underneath 28,000, and they couldn't even do that. What happens instead was we start seeing no follow through whatsoever. People are bidding that up. We are seeing sideways action when you're supposed to see downtrend continuation. There's a time and place for everything. Yes, the altcoins love sideways action, but that to me was indicative of the bears failing to apply continuous downward pressure onto Bitcoin. And that's exactly what we were talking about, right? We had a conversation on this topic in Seed, and I'm like, yeah, man, I agree that we are going sideways, but that to me is looking bullish AF.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Elon was going to tweet what he was. And there was something else I did say in the Grove, right? I said, who has the guts right now to be shorting or selling Bitcoin in this market environment?
And right now, like, sorry, go on, Sean.
And what people don't understand is that if you are taking a position in altcoins by selling but if you are buying altcoins with your Bitcoin, you are essentially selling Bitcoin, right? And that to a smart investor is a scary proposition. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be doing that, right? Yes, I am more willing to be using fiat to get into positions. So if there's any fiat I have lying around, yes, I'll use that to get into an altcoin that's looking spicy to me. But my words in Seed were, if you guys think altcoins are looking spicy right now, wait for Bitcoin to break up and they look even spicier. And Bitcoin has just broken up. Woof.
You guys notice Sean really likes his chilies. No, but it is looking really, really good. And the thing is that now this is something that struck me today. Like when I woke up right after, let's say this daily close, and I looked at the chart. The first kind of chart that I panned onto was Bitcoin. I looked at Bitcoin's chart, and Sean, look at that close. Look at that daily close. Okay, now, guys, I want you to look at this chart. So the bottom wick that Sean was talking about, that we failed to see continuation on, downside continuation on, was this wick right here. Okay, now this was the wick low that came in at 28,732. The fact that the bears were not able to take this down further, that showed weakness on their part. Okay, there was a lot. Look at the stutter here. They could not take it down any further. Now, when you see a consolidation like this and price really struggling, even though we're in like this downtrend, this mini downtrend, when it struggles, okay, that should sort of tip you off in being a prudent bear. Okay, and especially in a bullish trend, in a trend as bullish as this right now. Just look at this chart. Sean, I've essentially zoomed out of my daily chart and I'm showing them that beautiful, beautiful uptrend that we've been in since October.
Yep.
Okay, so prudence is going to be necessary if you are going to be taking a contrarian sort of view on the market, even in a short term, in a short time frame. Now, if you notice yesterday's daily close, okay, look at that candle there. So we had resistance on the daily. Okay, now this was sitting in at $33,085. I'm currently on that Coinbase exchange, so it may vary. But look at that. It kept respecting that region of resistance for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost a week, Sean.
Yep.
We respected it as resistance for 1 week until yesterday's daily close. We took that out. Not only did we take that point of resistance out, we also took out the daily 21 EMA. We closed over. And this was before the tweet came in. This was before Elon said anything. This is before anything. That should have been everyone's first tip off. If you were leaning bearish or if you were in a Bitcoin short position, that should have been your first tip off.
There's no way you can hold your short position when Bitcoin closed above 33,050. There's no way, right? Not only did we clear that major horizontal, which by the way led to the bull run from 33,000 all the way to 42,000, which is essentially a $10,000 move, okay, going all the way back to 4th of Jan. Okay, that's how the year started. That was a horizontal that started off the year's run to 42,000. Yeah. We retook that level after losing it, and we took the daily 21 EMA and the daily 10 SMA. A lot happened with that candle. So staying short on that position was just being stubborn, in my opinion. Yeah. But again, there's always an argument. But I just, I just don't know.
And that's the thing. It's like, I mean, it's there. It's staring you in the face. At this point, like, this was too clear for there to be any excuse, okay? Especially if you are someone who knows how to read these candles, or, you have your support and resistance pat down. Now, this was the first tell, okay? Now, the question is, now, Sean, you had brought this up to my attention in addition to someone else in one of the live streams. I think this guy was the only one. I forgot the name, unfortunately. I'm
Bob
sorry.
Harrison.
Was it Bob?
Bob.
I think, okay, it may have been Bob that who essentially highlighted this potential falling wedge / channel, okay, on the daily time frame. Now, at that point, we did not have enough price data on the chart to make an educated sort of guess on what, Bitcoin was likely going to do, or the pattern, rather, that it was forming. But everyone was looking at a descending triangle, whereas Bob was like, this may actually be a falling channel if that continuation does not come in. And exactly. What do you see here, guys? That's exactly what Bitcoin actually managed to, form. That's how price sort of progressed in order to give us this beautiful pattern. Now, I'm going to go ahead, Sean. I'm going to take the measured move of this beautiful falling channel, and I'm going to plot it on the break. All right, and where does that take us up to? Yes.
40,000, 42,000.
42,000.
Oh, wow.
42,000.
There we
so
go.
We're going to be, so this measured move essentially, takes us to those previous tops that we put in at 42,000.
That's perfect because, again, this is exactly what my target would have been, right? Just through a trend perspective. That's what I said in the Mango. Was it Seed or Grove? I said, let's go top of the consolidation, which is essentially around 40,000, right? What was the high of the consolidation? 42,000. Okay. So, again, I do want to mention something to all of you who have been tuning in for the live streams, but did not tune in for the last few live streams because things got boring, right? And in those live streams, I had said, listen, guys, I know you guys want to look at all coins, but it's time to be looking at Bitcoin. It's time to be putting in some detective work because there were multiple ways to be looking at the chart. And it's always if this, then that when it comes to Mango, right? We don't have a strong bias. But the few of you who did show up and were paying attention, guys like Bob, big shout out to you, man. You guys understood how we were going to be playing this. And just like Krusha said, at the time, It could have gone either way. We didn't have enough price action, right? It could have been a descending triangle, and it could have been a falling channel. And we talked about both in those live streams where very few of you guys showed up because, again, you guys are not interested on the things that matter. You guys are only interested on the pump and dump chases, right? This, guys, is what we talked about. If Bitcoin starts showing us the signs, and it started doing exactly that, right? Consolidation and accumulation and hesitance from the bears to push the price down. We did not see follow through on that daily candle close at around 30,000-ish, right?
Yeah.
Did not see follow through. And that was the first big sign that, wait a minute, this may actually end up being that falling channel instead of that descending triangle. And now we broke up. Kusha, what are the major levels Bitcoin needs to hold to see continuation of this trend now?
So the major levels that I will be looking at is going to be that daily Tenkin. I want to see us hold the daily Tenkin, but more importantly, if I'm looking for continuation, okay, now this is a personal sort of thing that I will be looking at, is for us to take out these highs right here. Now, Sean, if you look at that descending triangle that everyone was looking at, okay, just for your reference, basically the second high, lower high that was put in. Now, this came in on 14th of Jan.
Okay,
so I think if price manages to take that out to the upside and we take out that wick, even if we kind of wick above that region, I will be looking for continuation to the upside. First, 42K is going to be resistance. And then as soon as we actually clear that 42K resistance, I will be looking for a continuation.
Yep. I agree, Kusha. That is going to be a key level in terms of the trend continuation being explosive. If we do take out that 39,500 region, we're likely going to be breaking. The likelihood of us breaking 42,000 increases drastically, right? Because I just do not see a lower high being put in there on the higher time frames and us getting rejected. In terms of the bears, if they need to show their hand right now, any close underneath 35,000, and I think that does line up with your Tenkin, Krisha.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it does.
So any close underneath 35,000, and the bears will have their chance again to be saying, "Hey, this was just a massive bull trap. We are going down." But time will tell. We have 12 hours of time to tell us the story. A daily close above the Tenkin, Krisha. I am looking at this, putting in a low high at most at around 34,000 retest, probably lower high. Sorry, I meant high low.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's okay.
Right? Yeah. I'm just excited, guys. I apologize. So we are looking at a high low at probably around 35,000. And then continuation, putting high highs, high lows, high highs.
Okay, but for tomorrow's daily close, you will be looking for price to close over that daily Tenkin, correct?
Yes. If the bears step in right now and manage to close Bitcoin underneath that 35,000, it's not going to look good for Bitcoin. And you got to call a spade when you see a spade. And yeah, I'm not going to like that picture at all.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Sean, now before we actually go on to any other time frame, more than the lower time frames, I feel like the higher time frames are really, really going to paint the picture. So now we are on the 29th of Jan. Right? I cannot believe that this freaking month has actually come to an end. It's like time is just slipping by and I don't have any control over it. But okay, how about the monthly? Let's go to the monthly.
That monthly candle is freaking fantastic. This really emphasizes that idea, Krisha, of wait for the freaking candle close. Because so many people are talking about it. Bitcoin's monthly candle looks like crap. Bitcoin's monthly candle looks like crap. But leading into that monthly close, it was that much more prudent to be cautious on your altcoin trades, because if Bitcoin was putting a falling channel leading into a monthly close, do you really want to be in a de facto short Bitcoin trade against altcoins when there's a chance that we could just rip up and change the entire monthly candle? Why not just wait a couple of days, right? If the monthly candle still looks like crap, good. Bitcoin will probably maybe range, maybe go down. But if the bulls manage to pull through and change the picture of this monthly candle, because Kusha, put your cursor at around where Bitcoin was sitting, all right? Let's say around 30,000. Put your cursor there. And I want the entire audience, all right, all of you watching from home, to visualize what this monthly candle looked like before today. It looked like just a small green candle with a long wick towards the upside, which looked ugly.
Yes.
And now, not so much. Now, suddenly, within a day, this monthly candle has changed. And By the way, in 2 days and 13 hours, this monthly candle may actually close with a full green body.
Yeah.
There's a chance of
hell
that
yeah.
happening. That's how fast things can change in crypto. Wait for the candle to close, guys. Again, before getting too bullish, even though I sound so bullish right now, I'm excited. Yes, I am. I have reason to be. I'm sitting in. I built a position starting from last night to this morning and added when Elon changed his freaking description. But I have reason to be excited. But I will change my tune in a drop of a hat if I see Bitcoin close underneath that 35,000 level tomorrow. I'll change my tune. I won't let my emotion that I have today affect my trade for tomorrow.
Okay,
Right?
but you're
So
talking
again,
about your trade and not like your overall position, right?
no. I'm not
Okay.
talking about I'm not talking about my long-term position on Bitcoin. No, I'm talking about the trade that we built from yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. No, I figured that I just ask you and for you to sort of emphasize that point because we don't want to sort of be, misleading. Now, I think Bitcoin is looking freaking phenomenal. And the thing is that everyone was after that monthly candle. Oh, look at how ugly that monthly candle is. And this is the power of, well, this is what we see in crypto. This is the volatility that can kick in last minute, right? And it happens in less than an hour sometimes.
Yep.
All right. So yes, the picture can change, which drives us back to one of the points that we keep making. Wait on candle close. Just wait on candle close. All right. Now, this candle, I think, is looking phenomenal. Sean, is there any region that you're looking for Bitcoin to close over on the monthly to, for you to be like, okay, you know what, this wants to see continuation?
Well, the monthly, it just needs to close. The greener the body is, the better, right? Because you want to see, this is a trend continuation when pertaining to the monthly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to switch on over to my monthly yet again, because I did switch to the weekly time frame for a quick bit. And let's see, any candle close above, I'd like to see close above 38,000. I'd really like to see close above 38,000 on the monthly, but a candle close over here too would be really fine. If you go on, or if you use a measuring tool, and you find the midpoint of the candle, which would be coming in at around 35,000. Actually, the midpoint of the candle, Krisha, is the daily Tenkin. So this is one easy way that we could be put or rather explaining it to the audience.
Yeah.
We need around 2 or 3 daily candle closes leading into the monthly close above the daily Tenkin. So if the daily manages to hold above the daily Tenkin going into the monthly close consecutively, I think we have 2 days left actually. We're going to be good. That's going to be good enough.
I'm just going to go ahead and mark that daily Tenkin out for you guys and then pan it over to my weekly chart. That way you guys get a good visual on that. Okay, so now this is the level that Sean is looking at. This is at $35,000. And if you get onto the monthly, okay, he's essentially looking for price to close over $35,000 on the monthly for us to see any sort of, not any sort of, but for us to see some good, decent continuation to the upside. Basically, the bulls taking over.
Speaking of the weekly, Krisha, remember our thesis, or our hypothesis rather, wasn't a thesis as much as us saying that, hey, if this happens, it's going to be ultra bullish. In the beginning of the month, or the beginning of the year actually, when Bitcoin had pushed all the way up to 40,000, we're like, hey, wait a minute. On the weekly time frame now, right, there's a good chance that we may see a pullback around these levels. If we're not getting too bullish over here at around 40,000, we were being cautious. But the most bullish situation would have been if the weekly starts putting in a bull flag.
Yeah.
At that level. Switch on over to your weekly and tell me what you see.
I'm already on my weekly.
Oh my.
And no, it's looking really good. Now I'm looking at this candle right now, and something to note, guys, the weekly and the monthly, they both close together. Right? Exactly. So the month of Jan and this week, both candles close together, so you're able to get a lot of information all at once. So definitely pay attention to that next major weekly and monthly close. That is going to essentially paint the picture for what is to come. So Sean, do you have any other thoughts on any of the other time frames, anything critical that you see on the chart right now?
Honestly, guys, you could look at the lower time frames, the daily, the 12-hour, etc., and overcomplicate things for yourself. But now for so many months now, I've been telling all of you, all right, especially you guys who are just beginning to trade, keep it simple, keep it mango, stick to the 4 day and stick to the weekly. Hell, go on over to the video back in December, right, when we were on the beach. I came on and did an entire segment on, hey guys, keep it simple. We just closed a massive 4 day and a weekly candle that tells us a story. Bitcoin was sitting at 19,000 at that point, right?
Yeah.
19,000. And we said that was key. Okay, that essentially gave us the big clue that we're going to be making a huge run based on that weekly close. Okay, now again, if you even go on over to app.mangoresearch.co, guys, the dashboard on the 4 day time frame has literally not changed. I have it open right over here. Let me go ahead and check for 99.5 days now. The last long signal it gave us was 99 days ago. And ever since then, it's been telling you just stick to your position, sit tight, don't do anything stupid. This is on the 4 day time frame. And the 4 day time frame, like you said, Krisha, is the mango time frame. It's the time frame where I make most of my big freaking trades. The return since then is 213%. And all you had to do was nothing. Literally do nothing, right? The 4 day never ever switched bearish or neutral or anything. It just kept saying hold, 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 right? Kusha, again, if you go on over to the dynamic on the weekly and the 4 day, you will see that even the dynamic was telling you, hey, wait a minute, those are buy opportunities, right? We came down to 29,800, yes, but that was a support region on the dynamic. And again, if you zoom all the way out back on over to October 7, 2020, it was exactly the dynamic that made us get ultra bullish on Bitcoin, right? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
As simple. The 4 day time frame. We close the 4 day above it. All right, cool. Let's go, right? It may or may not work out, but all you need to catch is one huge trend. And thus far, we've been catching many of these, right? So again, keep it simple, guys. 4 day and the weekly. Kusha, you can go ahead and look at the weekly dynamic too. Bam, stuck to the trend, has never flipped. Well, it may in the future. We don't know. We never predict, or rather, we never claim to know that we can predict what can happen. We just play the charts. We keep it simple, keep it mango, we keep it stress-free.
And there we go. And no, you're right. The dynamic has been freaking on point, especially on that 4 day. Just to give, before we end this one, just to give people a quick sort of thing on what Sean was talking about. He was talking about this one here on October 7th, the 4 day candle that we closed over the dynamic. And look at that. I feel like every close over the dynamic has been like a very, very good tell on where price wants to go after. Right? We got that, and then a beautiful, beautiful rally to the upside. And guys, this trend is bloody bullish right now. There is no time frame that's looking bad. The structure is intact. The bulls are in control of this chart.
Yep. And if the daily closes about 35,000. Oh, and on that note too, Krisha, I do want to give I do want to point this out, right? The dynamic is essentially built to keep life as simple and easy and reduce decision fatigue as much as possible. If you switch on over to your daily dynamic, right, you'll see that the dynamic on the daily is coming in at around 35,000. That's the level that we were talking about throughout this video after doing analysis and finding confluence, etc., etc. The dynamic kept it simple. It freaking drew it for you at 35,000. You didn't have to do any of the work. And this is why I trade altcoins on it so much, because it does most of the work for me. And when it comes to altcoins especially, there's so many of them. I can't sit and do deep analysis on every single one of them the way we do for Bitcoin, right? It will just get too fatiguing.
Yes, sirree. Now, I mean, this is a very clean, clear, crispy chart, and Bitcoin right now is telling you what it wants to do. So our levels that we personally will be looking at, okay, is this 35K region. You guys can easily pull this up by looking at, well, I guess the Tenkin, or you can just mark it on your charts based on what I have. Okay, and the other point of resistance that I personally will be looking at is going to be these wick highs right here. We take that out. I am looking for further continuation to the upside. And yeah, that's it, Sean. Any final notes?
Nope. Again, guys, keep it easy. Keep it stress-free. The high time frames will be your guiding light when you are new traders. Don't overcomplicate it. And yeah, quick money usually ends with quick losses as well. Be patient. The market, this market especially, will give you what you want.
Amen. Now, with this, guys, trade safely, trade stress free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.